Hello, we are back on the Silverfox Hustle podcast. This is the official SPL preview, and to top it off, we have got the champions in the house, and with me is the head coach of Lion City Sailors, Aleksandar Rankovic. But before that, just a few stats. Last season they were champions, obviously. They scored 96, one less than Geylang, conceded 32, won 22, draw 60, and lost 4. They were the best defense in the league, and the second best attack, obviously, behind Geylang. And on the back of quite a remarkable season, SPL champions, obviously, Singapore Cup champions, ACL2 runners-up, and if you count the Community Shield, that's a trophy as well. So they won that last season, and they beat BG by 8 points to be league champions. Welcome to the pod, Mr. Aleksandar Rankovic.
Nice to talk to you again, my friend.
Yes, it's always a pleasure, especially talking about football. On the back of a very successful season, I got to say, last season, right? And I asked Tony about this, right, in the episode, one of the episodes, and to sum it up, he said it was a season, and he summed it up with one word: pride. He had loads of pride for the season, and you know, he was so proud of the success that you guys had. And if you were to sum up last season, how was it? Because it was quite a fantastic season.
If I have to choose one word, I have to say maybe unexpected.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
That's a first. Yeah. And but it was really a very, very good season.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, of course, I do get it that people think of us when you talk about Lion City Sailors that you should dominate the league and you should win everything domestically, and you know, like, but knowing that as a coach and definitely as a former player, that's never easy. You know, like especially when you come back from domination of Albirex that dominated the last 2-3 years. So that's why I was like, that's why I choose these words, especially if we talk about Champions League. I mean, who ever expected that we're gonna go to the final?
Yeah, and you know, and I know as well, nothing is a foregone conclusion in football, especially when you're a coach, and we talk about money and budgets and whatever. You still needed to go out there and win it. You still needed to turn up every single game, and a win is a win, right? And I think that was a fantastic achievement last season. And we can't. This is an SPL preview, by the way, but we've got to talk about, since we've already played the Community Shield just a few days ago, or 2 days ago actually. How would you sum up that game against BG Tampines?
Yeah, first of all, I think that this is the first time, maybe since I'm here, that I saw full stands.
Really?
Yeah, like for the local game. For the local game that I saw full, and that's something that really makes me happy. You know, like people finally showing up, and that means that something good is happening.
Right.
You know, and to give all the credit, not only, I mean, of course, not about it's not about us only, but also the BG Tampines, but also the other teams. They lift up the standard, and that's great. You know, like, and if you talk specifically about the game, I mean, they won it fair and square.
Yeah.
I think they were very effective. I think they reminded me a little bit of us in the Champions League last season.
Yeah.
Defending very deep, getting on the counters. I think first half we had. Sounds maybe contradictory, but I think we had a good game the first half.
Okay.
Second half, after 2-3-0, you have to chase. So it was a good match, I think, to start the season, and well deserved from Tampines.
Were you a little bit surprised about BG Tampines' quality, especially the foreign players? I thought I was quite impressed with a couple of their foreign players as well. You know. Yeah,
they did good in the transfer period. I mean, they replaced a couple of key players.
Yeah.
Which is never easy. But the way they played is also a little bit different than last seasons. So for us, this was the first time that we encountered them. I mean, we never saw them, and we couldn't see them anywhere. So it was refreshing. But listen, I said this also to any journalist, but also to my players. The league improved, and not only because you bring a lot of foreigners, you know, but like you lift up the standard a little bit. I think the Tampines and us, especially last season in Champions League, I think we put this little bit higher, and now you see the other teams are falling, which is great.
Exactly. Now let's move forward and talk about this season. And obviously, after last season, you went for a break. I'm sure you had a very good break with your family and friends as well. Just off your head, as a coach, right? Just moving forward, there's loads in your head thinking about players, thinking about this and that and everything, right? What came to your mind first in terms of the makeup of the team? Because you had players leaving, obviously, and you needed to get players to replace them and things like that. What was the main thing in your head, priorities-wise, in terms of the football part?
Yeah, and first of all, yeah, you have to in the period that I was resting, you have to let everything a little bit calm down. You know, like it was so much in such a long period that I need a little bit to calm down and really summarize the season and what do we really need for this season, because this season to replicate all this it's not gonna be easy. So in terms of the players, we were looking first for a certain type of characters, and of course they have to have quality. I mean that's normal, but certain type of characters that we're bringing in that can help us lift the quality a little bit higher, because if you want to improve, you have to bring every year better and better and better. Yeah. So that was our main goal. And of course, what we also still need, and I hope that the management is going to help us, it's a little bit of depth in our squad.
Okay. I heard that. I heard this on IG. You know, you speaking about this, and I wanted to ask you later on. Are you happy with the squad? And obviously, I've got my answer, right? And and obviously there are rule changes, right? Number of foreigners. We've got the SPL 2 and things like that. And listen, you guys are going on different fronts, on all fronts. You know, we got the Shopee Cup, the ACL 2, the SPL, Singapore Cup, obviously. It's how do you plan for this? Because do you have like a set team for the Shopee Cup? Do you have a set team for the ACL 2? It's tough, and like you said, depth is so important. You've got 3 players missing out, touch wood, through injury, through suspensions. Then everything goes, haywire. So how are you going to plan this? I'm just, it's a worry, isn't it?
It's not easy. I'm going to tell you honestly. I mean, we had this little bit last season, but we had so much luck with players. We didn't have so much injuries. We didn't have so much suspensions. To get back to your question in the beginning, do you plan like one team for this, one team for that?
Yeah.
So fortunate we are not, because that's the teams that are doing that. That's maybe Buriram or JDT or all these big Asian teams that have 3 squads. So we have to watch from game to game. So I have to prepare the game for the next Thursday that we play JDT. And before that, I already know that we have this rule that only 7 foreigners can be in a squad. So that means that 2 foreigners are out, including Bailey 3, but the Bailey is already injured. Yeah. So I already missed 3 players.
Right.
And if you count my squad of 20 players, so that's not difficult to count how many you left.
Yep. Hopefully the management is still listening to this.
They are working on it, and listen, they are doing their best, but it's not easy. Listen, it's never easy. I mean, you think, okay, you have some financial opportunity to bring players, but to bring quality player from 26 till 28, 29 years old from the top 5 competition in Europe, in Singapore, it's difficult. Yeah. It's not easy, know, because it's not always about the money.
Exactly. It's not only about just bringing someone in. You got to look at other stuff, right? Football, obviously, and character and everything else. So it's a difficult task. You spoke a little bit about Bailey. How far along, or what injury does he have? If you can share.
Yeah, Bailey had an unlucky beginning of the preseason. I mean, that's the guy who played, I think, most of the matches last season. So now you see his body taking a little bit of toll. Okay. So he's out definitely for the next 2 games. Okay. And after that we have to see. I mean, he didn't had preseason, so we're gonna miss him a lot.
Right. We talk about the draw that just happened, the ACL 2 draw. How do you make out of that draw?
Yeah, everybody say like we didn't draw, I don't know, Japanese team or Korean team. Yeah. But this group, if you look at it very closely, it's, I think, the only group from all the 4 that doesn't have a favorite. That's my opinion. So everybody can beat everybody. So I think we can match with everybody there, and everybody can match with us. So it's not like you have, like last season, Hiroshima in a group. Yeah. I mean, not us, but some team, you have Hiroshima. And then, they are the number 1. So we are looking for the second spot. Here, it's a little bit different. And it's also a little bit dangerous.
Of course, it's always dangerous, right? And just to read out, right, it's Bangkok United, Sligo, and you guys in Persib as well. So you're right there, and looks like anyone can go through from there, right? And I just want to ask you a question before we go through the list of players that you have and stuff like that. Just to speak about some of the players. The huge thing for me, I think, for you guys or for you as the coach or the manager, right? How do you make the players happy?
It's gonna maybe sound very contradictory, but it's not my job to make them happy. I mean, of course, I'm very close with my players. I'm supporting them in every way I can. But if they want to be happy, it's not always gonna happen. So the way I'm gonna make them happy is that if they play, and I know the player is only happy when he plays. So he has to show every time that he wants to play and keep his spot. So that's the only way. And me making a joke from time to time, it's not going to make them really happy. Listen, you have a squad of 20 people, 11 likes you, that plays, 3-4 that come in, they're also good with you, the other hates you. So that's in every team in the world.
I absolutely love that answer. You're not here to make people happy. You are in the business to win games. It's simple as that, right? Now let's talk about the business of players, right? And let's talk a little bit about the local players. Obviously some have left, but I think there are a few players who've come in, and I think is worth mentioning. And one is obviously Safuwan. I think he's back after a very long time overseas, and I think he's one. You've got Nur Adam back as well. Zul is like kind of a new player after injury and stuff. Suleiman, that's another player. Let's talk us through those players that who's come in, and people like Safuwan. I'm sure they've strengthened the squad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't have to praise him a lot. I think everybody knows who he is. That's the player that I was chasing already for a year. So last year we couldn't really bring him in for various reasons, but this season I'm very happy that we could have sealed the deal. So he brings a lot of composure, a lot of experience. You see the way he plays, the way he interacts with the players. It's a different level. I mean, he played, I think, 12, 13 years abroad, so you can immediately see.
Absolutely. I just want to touch on this player, and he's not a new player coming in, Hariss Harun, right? And last season, I thought he was like an unsung hero for you guys. Obviously he's a central midfielder, but he's played everywhere for you guys, right? And on the right, and as a wing back as well. I've never seen him play as a wing back before, right? And he's come in and he's just gone about doing his business. No problems, just go out there and perform. Any words on Hariss Harun? Because I thought he was a very unsung, it's an unsung hero last season.
Yeah, Hariss is for me one of the best players in Singapore, especially the local ones. I mean, you sum it up great. I mean, he's the guy that doesn't matter where you put him, he's gonna do 100%. He'll give his best. I think we used him, or maybe use the term misused him in some situation because we had to. But I think if you look at his performance on a full-back position, they were amazing. And not only in terms of football, but also tactical, the way understanding what we want from him.
Yeah.
And in the big games, I mean, the guy played Champions League final as a right back.
Exactly.
I mean, don't forget that. And of course, now on the midfield, he has a lot of competition, but he's one of my most important players.
Exactly, and I wouldn't know what's in your head, but it seemed like last season he was like one of the first names on the team sheet, and so that speaks volumes about him. I'm just going through your foreign players. Most of them are from last season anyway. Most of them, right? We got Bart and Tsiy and everyone. Obviously Rui Pires as well, and Lestienne. Let's talk about the new guys coming in, right? Let's talk about Anderson. What does he bring to the table? Obviously, he's come with lots of pedigree, with quality. Obviously, you don't get to be the top scorer for the J League for nothing, right? So what does he bring to the table?
A lot of quality up front. I mean, I see this guy train for the last month, and it's amazing and privileged to coach him. I mean, it's a top professional. That's number one, and number two, I mean, everything he does is clinical. I mean, maybe we haven't seen this the last game because wasn't so much space, or maybe he was alone in the 16. I mean, but if you see him, the way he plays, it's a quality. And let's be honest, this kind of guys is special.
Yeah, and this is only my opinion, right? And like you said, you're not there to make people happy. I thought Leonard T has been. Not has been. He's a little bit unlucky, and obviously with the competition, and competition is good, obviously. And I thought he was superb last season, Leonard T. He didn't start the season like brilliantly, but over the course of the season, he was absolutely brilliant. How about? Can I ask you whether I will get this right? Tsiy Ndenge?
Tsiy Ndenge, yeah.
right, man. What qualities does he bring to the team? Is he more? Are you going to use him more like a defensive mid or a progressive player?
He's more a box-to-box player.
Okay.
So he's a definitely a midfield player, but a little bit different than Rui.
Right. Okay.
So we were looking a little bit more guy who can. If you look his qualities, he's maybe a little bit closer to Song.
Okay.
Because he can show up at the 16, around the 16, have a great shot in his left feet.
Right.
Like from the distance also. So a little bit different. So that's why we brought him. I think we thought that we need a little bit of dynamic in the midfield.
Okay. He looks powerful. He looks really, really powerful, in the middle of the park. And how about your goalkeeper, Ivan Susak?
Yeah, I mean,
listen, he's 2.03.
Yeah, I mean he's a big guy. Obviously, I mean he stands out in this league. I think, especially. But we were not really looking only like this tall. I mean,
right, of course,
the first thing you see, of course. But we were looking something, especially in this international competition, that can bring a little bit of edge. And I think Ivan, it's there. I mean, for him. The one thing that we were trying to do and still trying to do is to get in every position at least two players that are like competitive, so that you have great competition on the field, like you had mentioned, Leonard and Lopez.
Yeah.
I don't need to do a lot of as a coach. I mean, it's up to them who's going to play, and that's what we try to do in every position on the field, including the goalkeeper.
And I totally understand this, right? And when you talk about teams that have gone on to win the league, and I'm not only talking about Singapore and everywhere in the world, right? When you go on and win the league, you don't rest and relax for the next season. You go and get players to to beef up the squad, to get better and better and better, and and that should be the way anyway. You speak about a little bit more strength in depth. If you had the choice, what kind of players would you go for further to strengthen your squad in terms of positions?
Yeah, in terms of position, I mean, I think that definitely we need in every line maybe one. I don't think a striker, but I think up front maybe in terms of one more winger.
Okay.
We need maybe one more central defender.
Right.
Because there we also, because the obvious way that we play, we only have at this point one substitution, and if that falls down, then we really not really have anybody on the bench.
Right.
So that's the two key points that we are looking.
Nice. And how has pre-season been? Has it been okay? Has it been plain sailing in terms of games that you played?
It was not bad, but it was not ideal.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we had some setbacks with injuries, so that means that I couldn't really train a lot in terms of tactical. I didn't have the numbers for 11-11. Also, some, like I said, some opposition canceled like the last days of the before the match, so we need to improvise a lot, but we are getting there. So only thing what can help us it's playing the matches and try to through those matches to get this edge that we need.
Without giving too much away, Alex, what were you working on specifically in your side this pre-season, football-wise? I mean,
football-wise. I think the patterns that we play, how we play, are pretty clear. I think,
right.
But the things that I think we saw the last season that maybe can cause us a problem is like you saw the last match. Like when the opposition is very low, that we have, I don't know, we have sometimes 20 till 25 crosses that nothing happens.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we need to hammer on. Like because we're gonna get them, especially in our league, that the teams, rightly so, gonna dig in their own half.
Yeah.
So we have to find a way to hurt them.
Parking the bus, you mean?
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, it's we played some of those matches also in the Champions League, so it's very legit.
Coaches don't like this question, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Any players to look out for from your side?
Oof, that's very difficult. I mean, listen. Then if I say one, then the other was gonna be angry.
Come on, just stick out the next one.
I think in obvious choice, it's like of course everybody has to look at the attackers. I mean, that's the obvious choice. But said that, I have to say that if you look at, for example, my left fullback. Is very attacking, so it's also somebody to look for. But
you're talking about Diogo Costa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What can we expect from the Sailors this season in terms of, from now till the end of the season, obviously playing in all those competitions, right? What can we expect from them?
I just hope that we're gonna be consistent.
Okay.
Like we did last season. Of course, you're gonna have some setbacks. That's part of the journey. But to be consistent, to be competitive, even the matches that we play against big teams, to be competitive. I don't mind losing, don't get me wrong. I mean, you're gonna lose, like I said, some matches, but to always be competitive. So that the next match you get that 1% more, and that's something that I really hope so, to stay in all the competitions as long as we can.
Right. It's funny, right? You just mentioned that it's. I mean, it's not okay to lose, but I'm saying being competitive and stuff like that. What goes through your head and your players' head when you lose games? Especially like 2 days ago, for example. And listen, it can be Community Shield or kickabout in the park or whatever. Everybody wants to win, and I know you guys want to win. It doesn't matter what tournament. What goes into your head in the dressing room and after a game? What is it like?
No, disappointment definitely. I mean, of course, as a sporter, if you don't want to win any game, that's bad. So you wanted to win that game, so it's disappointment, and that's something that I saw at my players very, very strong, because when you used to, like last season, to win things, and the season before, okay, you won the cup only, but then these kind of things can really upset you. But you shouldn't dwell in that a long time. I mean, it's still one game, and of course the big trophies. We want to win them.
And I always say this about sports people and sportsmen and clubs and teams, right? It's always good about sports, because once you lose, you have an opportunity to make amends right away. Like maybe in the next few days you have a game, and it's always good. You just want to get back, and try to get back. And I asked all the clubs and the coaches about their targets for the year, and most of them obviously have got the SPL and the Singapore Cup, right? You guys have got a couple of targets, obviously, right?
Definitely.
So what are your targets this season, Alex?
No, it's very simple. I mean, in our league, we wanna win all the things we can. Definitely, for me, number one, if you talk about our league, it's being a champion. And why? Because it gives you the continuity and also the opportunity to play Champions League every year.
Yep.
So that's number one. Of course, if you can win the cup, that's
the Singapore
great.
Cup, you mean?
Sorry?
It's the Singapore Cup.
Yes.
Yep, okay.
So but if you talk about international competitions, I think the main target is just to go through the group from one of them.
Yep.
If we can do both, that's amazing.
Yep.
And then from there, you saw last season everything can happen.
Right. Especially when you go for the one-off games, right? And when you get it tactically right, and obviously you need a bit of luck as well. I think that is.
Like Hiroshima. I mean, we had a lot of luck.
Yeah,
But I always say, to be in that position, to provoke that luck, it's also very hard to get.
Absolutely. Finally, Alex, message for the crew.
I mean, they've been amazing last season, and like they also grow and grow, like we grow and grow, and that's some process, and it's like some symbiosis thing that you see, like some organic thing. So that's why I say, like the last game when I saw full stands, not only from us but also them, they gave me great feeling, like something's happening in Singapore football that I'm very happy and proud to be part of.
Yeah.
And let's hope they're gonna support us through all the way, even in the bad ways.
Yeah, exactly. And you spoke about the fans, right? The BG fans as well on that day as well. And even for the ACL2 final, it's like almost like the whole of Singapore, the fans were rooting for the Lion City Sailors as well, and you could feel it as well. And I think that is the kind of thing that we want in Singapore football anyway, and that was so brilliant to watch. And and Alex, thank you so much for being on the podcast for this SPL preview, and we wish you all the best as well, for the league, for all the cups that you're going for, the Shopee Cup as well as the ACL2, and we wish you all the best, and to the players as well.
Thank you so much, and glad to be you.
This has been the latest episode, the SPL Preview, the official SPL Preview with the champions, Alex Rankovic, the coach. And don't forget, click on the follow button. We're out everywhere on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Till the next episode, cheers. I see you again.